What's up, guys? It's Legendori, and I can't believe it, but maybe I should. I'm not that bad of a player. I'm actually pretty good. I won a skirmish and got my bye for Atlanta with Draven. We played Draven Vanquisher. When you win a combat, play a gold gear token exhausted. These are my cool, sick Yu-Gi-Oh! Gold gears that I got from playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Many years ago. I got them from the Legendary decks. They're from Season 1. If you ever watched the anime of Season 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist Kingdom, there's Duelist Kingdom here, Set Sail for the Kingdom, and then Glory of the King's Hand, which is literally a pile of gold. I love using this as my first gold token. But back to the Draven cards. The Draven, when I attack or defend trigger, is really layered when you're on Reavers. I don't play Reavers, but when the opponent plays Reavers, you have to figure out when your attack trigger goes, when their defend trigger goes first. It's ruled, as far as I'm aware, as their defend trigger is first. Even the fan trigger is first, and then the when I attack or defend. So I don't have to pay until I know whether they're staying or not. But this is also not once per turn, so the fact that you can use this multiple times, if they swing into you multiple times, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's okay to buff up Draven if you can. Pay the red power, it's totally worth it. This is the Draven Leader, or the Draven Legend. The Draven Legend is whenever you win a combat, draw one. Winning a combat isn't when their creatures die or live, but it's also when the combat showdown is over. So you have to make sure you're passing focus back and forth until both players agree that nothing new is happening. If nothing new is happening, then you can draw your card. I think a common change that probably should have been errata on this card, because it was super worth it and will balance out the card, is if they just made this legend ability tappable. Ezreal's is whenever you target something twice, react, tap this card, draw a card. This could have been whenever you win a combat, tap this card, draw a card. Realistically, doing it once and then having a reason for players to find a way to restand their legend in red and purple would have been super useful. I think this just being a passive ability is kind of nuts, especially because if they just fling one monster at you at a time, you can draw as many times as you want. It's not even like a once per turn effect. This did come up in irrelevancy when like you're really low on your deck and they draw you out for a point on burnout. It didn't happen to me, but it almost happened to me. I was down to 4 cards and the player considered it, but I ended up putting cards back with cards that you'll see later that are in this deck profile. Played 7 purple. You know there's Ezreal and Seals in here. It's a miracle deck. Played 7 purple and 5 red. The red are only there for like 3 cards, which you will see in this build. Vi, Bushwack, and Detonate. This is a Detonate build with a little bit of spice or splash or something different, a little bit of twist of what I did, so hopefully the perspective is unique and different. And if you think you're someone that can't play Detonate, I promise you can. If I can do it, anyone can do it. My going first battlefield is always Veiled Temple. Veiled Temple is a great card because when you conquer here, you may ready a friendly gear. Often I'm stacking the sequence so that I've used my seal already and I can restand a seal after I move into this. It doesn't give the opponent a great benefit because often they're not restanding any gears or detaching a lot of gears unless it's the Miracle Mirror. So this is a good battlefield to open with. My going second battlefield is Obelisk of Power. If you can soul read them and they play double Obelisk, then you get to play something that is more than Draven. But for now, you're probably going second. You're going to get the going second 3 runes opener, and then you're going to get a 4th rune to play Draven for your first turn. Now, Draven applies a lot of pressure and gets punished very often, so when I was playing Draven for my first turn, their second turn was sometimes just getting rid of my Draven, which is unfortunate, but it's something that happens, and it does get rid of cards that might be valuable to them later, like Falling Star or Call the Weak, or cards that just are problematic. However, it does feel bad every time I lose my Draven on turn 2. The third battlefield we often didn't see because most of the matches were 2-0, Zon Warrens. Zon Warrens is a great card because we play Scrap Heap, because we want to dig through our deck. We see a lot of value in discard 1, draw 1. I love discard 1, draw 1. I love drawing cards. You guys know this by now. So as a thing to remember for this video and anything going forward, if it says draw on it, I'm probably going to play it. Shout out to Craig for these awesome Pokemon sleeves from Japan. Craig was away for a few weeks and brought me back some sleeves. He also brought me these ones, these Latios ones that are for my runes. Let's get into the monsters, or the units. We play 3 Traveling Merchant. Same thing as on Warrens. This is an early 2-drop that's a great side out. When I move discard 1, draw 1, it's great in the mirror. When you're holding a battlefield and it's just one battlefield, you can move your merchant back and forth to the same battlefield safely. You're not conquering or getting a point, but at least you're facilitating some of that digging that you do want to get done. Arguably the best card in the deck. I would even call it the Heart and Soul, but I think there are better cards to call the Heart and Soul. Ezreal Prodigy, purple Ezreal, you discard 1 and draw 2 when you play him. If you discard a scrap heap, you're drawing 3. Drawing cards is nuts. He also lowers the additional cost, so you can play your other spells for cheaper. I found this great, actually, just in hard bargain. I hard bargained someone's hard bargain. I hard bargained a falling star. I hard bargained things for less with like an awkward amount of runes or energy because I could pay 1 less, and that was really fun. This is the math card. Oh boy, all of your turns, you're basically just doing things in Miracle to lower the cost of Battering Ram. We play 3 Battering Rams. Often you can ditch one of these, bottom it, or you can pitch it for a discard. Sometimes you're not going to see it because you do want to see at least 2. I refer to them as Battering Ram A, B, and C because they are the sons of me, the king, and they sometimes do a great job. Like I had a Battering Ram equipped with a spinning axe. That was really useful and fun. Figuring out how to fishbowl this card out has been really good and great for testing. So I like this card. I like what it does for sequence. I like that it costs less. I like that it's a 5 might unit. There's not much more that can be said about Battering Ram, especially in Miracle. And then, of course, another Miracle card is 3 Rasa. We play 3. We don't play Nocturne in this build. Rasa costs 1 less for each card in your trash. He's a 10 energy. He costs me 1 power whenever I want to play him. I don't ever play him early. Maybe I'll play him for 9 sometimes because I couldn't get the extra discard and I needed another body. He's a 6 might body that comes in whenever you are going in, you're swinging. Dropping double or triple Rasa under Bushwack is insane, and I think it's super valuable for big swings and Miracle. Vi is the heart and soul of this deck. Vi plays your deck for you, but you stack it. So when your graveyard is super full and you need to restack cards for you to tutor, you do a lot of looping, which is putting Called Shot and 2 cards with Called Shot that you're going to activate Called Shot for free for with Ezreal and a seal to choose or get exactly the cards you need back from your graveyard. Vi also facilitates the big board clear, so if you're playing into Miracle or you're playing into other decks that are big holding on you, you can play Vi and threaten to put your whole graveyard back into your deck and swing with like a 20 or 30 might unit that sure could get Fight or Flight or Rebuked. Sometimes I often baited a Fight or Flight or Rebuke just by pumping Vi to 10 and swinging into something, because sometimes you just need to test what they have and you don't have enough units to do that with. Vi's a great card, great unit. Sometimes she's just sitting in base doing her job, which is facilitating the reverse milling of your deck. Or the restacking is what we'd call it. That's all for the units. Let's get to the gear. We own 3 ON seals. I didn't play them because when I was testing just Miracle, I was feeling like really bad. I felt like super unlucky. I thought the rarity was cursing me, essentially. I love how they look. I don't really like these seals, but I have to deal with them because that's what I get for ditching the other valuable seals to try and play this deck after I decided not to. So we played these 3 seals. Seals, if you don't understand them, because apparently a lot of people did it, and I think it's worthy of an explanation, seals pay for the power, and they pay for the power every turn recursively. So instead of putting a purple rune back to pay for something, you pay a purple rune at the start of or early on, and then you tap this, and it generates you the power of a purple cost. And you can use that to play Rasa. You can use 2 of these to pay for Rebuke. You can use these to hide cards, which I was often doing, especially if I didn't have things to play. I would just tap a seal and hide a card at a battlefield that I was holding. That was extremely useful. You don't ramp down for it. They cover you on that behalf, so it's extra good. Scrap Heap, man, the heart and soul of this deck. What got me off of regular Miracle is often that I would draw 2 Scrap Heap or something off of Ezreal, and I would hate my life because I didn't pitch one to draw a 3rd card. Scrap Heap is a great card for Merchant. It's a great card for Zon Warrens, but it comes up more relevant when I show you the Detonate cards. I play Scrap Heap for 2, draw a card, and then when you detonate Scrap Heap, it draws you another card, and Detonate draws you 2. So you can draw 4 cards off of 3 mana just by playing Scrap Heap and then detonating it. It's a little broken, and that's why people think it should be banned. Not that card, not even this card, Called Shot, which is crazy. They're talking about Called Shot when freaking Detonate can do that. 3 Treasure Trove. I got these foils after the Skirmish. I thought I'd bless the deck a little bit and give it a bit of an up rare. Treasure Trove, when this leaves the board, draw 1 and channel 1 Rune Exhausted. Now you can pay a purple power and tap this to kill it and just do that functionally. There's a card on the side that helps like kind of cycle this into a loop, but realistically, like this is a rampable Scrap Heap. It doesn't draw you an extra card for playing it. I mean, it draws you 1 for when it dies, but it doesn't draw you one for playing it. But you can play it for 2 early, you can kill it later. It's another card that just like gets you a ramp and gets you a draw, still gets you 3 off a Detonate. It's a 3 for 3 there, plus a power, so not really that ideal, but better than nothing, honestly. One Last Rites. Last Rites is extremely relevant. I don't know if you saw any of the Miracle builds so far. Last Rites was doing what Vi was doing before she was there. Last Rites will let you play a card from your graveyard, like a unit from your graveyard. You still pay its full cost, which is a little wacky, but that gives it the balance. It gives your unit +2, so I was giving a Ram this, or giving Rasa one of these, giving it an awkward might number, and then just having him play Draven after he died much later to a battlefield I controlled. Super useful, super relevant. The Recycle 2 kind of makes things awkward if you don't have a lot of discard dump and fuel to like pump the graveyard full, but it's a good card. Sometimes I bottom it a little too early. Sometimes I definitely bottomed it early on purpose because I just didn't have the need for it. Playing it at 1 is good. I don't see its value at any more than 1, especially in this deck where you can see any card you want at 1. Speaking of any card you want at 1, Spinning Axe was great for that 1-ish combat trick. It went in there specifically for the random early fights or combat tricks later that needed to pump my might. Those of you who don't know, Quick Draw is a Gears reaction keyword, so you can play this card from hand if you have 2 up. It acts as a combat trick, but it's a +3 instead of a +2, and you know we like those odd, awkward numbers. Now to the spells. The heart and soul of the deck, honestly. This is the heart and soul of the deck. Ezreal with Called Shot allows you to play Called Shot for 1 seal repeated. You don't have to pay the second power. Like, I didn't think that card was this busted, but like the fact that you can tutor through your deck, it puts a card in graveyard, it puts itself in graveyard, and then you look at the top 2, take 1, bottom the other. So you just sculpt for what you need. When you're looping with Vi, you're putting this card and 2 cards next to it, and you're saying, okay, I want these 2 cards, or I want the option of these 2 cards, so I'll put the Called Shot back, and I'll put the Spinning Axe and the Last Rites with it. Like, what are we doing? Like, why are we acting like this isn't a great card? Now, it's a great card in this deck. It doesn't play in every purple deck. Like right now, unless it's Miracle, like you don't really need to play this many cards, and you don't get to pay the repeat that easily without Ezreal. So like in Ezreal, this is a great card. With Ezreal, this is a great card. I don't know if it's a great card without Ezreal. So I don't think the card needs to be banned, and I think they know that. Stack deck, arguably what we called the best card in the game so far. Also in this deck, one for look at the top 3, pick 1, put the other 2 at the bottom. You're cycling your deck. It's hard to keep track of what you're bottoming if you're not making notes or like able to remember things. I don't have great memory, so it's very hard for me to remember what I'm putting back off a stack deck and Called Shot. But sometimes I try to remember like, oh, that was like the 2 Bushwack that I saw. That means I gotta dig back in there for me to get the Bushwacks again. 3 Detonate. This card is amazing. This card kills those gears, draws you 2. It's not an action. Man, if this was an action, it'd be more broken. I would ban this card if this was an action card. It's a 1-in-1. You pay the red power for it. Like, you're not even playing a seal for it. Like, you just... This is what the red is for in this deck. Red for Vi, red for Detonate, red for Bushwack. That's it. Very rarely I kill the seal for, like, a miracle draw. But sometimes you have to. Like, if you're digging and you absolutely need those last 2 draws, just kill one of your used seals for it. It's worth it. I've never killed something someone else had. I've never killed an opponent's card and given them the 2 draw. Unlike Hidden Blade, in this particular meta, I just don't think it's worth it. There's yet to be a gear that I'm so afraid of that like makes me want to get rid of it and give them 2 draws. Like, they probably play more of the card. Like, why would I do that? Fight or Flight. Often some of these decks play this at 2. I bumped this to 3. I love this card. It's a great combat trick. It's a great card that I hide along with Bushwack. These 2 cards I often baited because once they see you play a Fight or Flight, they assume that your hitting card at a battlefield is another Fight or Flight. So when I hide a Bushwack at a battlefield, which doesn't come up often, is definitely something that surprises a lot of people. I love Fight or Flight. You can save your own units. Sometimes if you're going to lose a combat, you give them a draw and you just move your unit back because you're going to need to keep your units alive for most of this game. Next, let's get into Bushwack. Bushwack is the best card in the deck. Bushwack gets your friendly units enter ready this turn, and you play a gold gear exhausted. You make a gold gear for the red power that you might need for like a Vi or something else, or maybe a Rasa. But you drop this late game with like all of the creatures in your deck. You play 3 Rasa under a Bushwack, and you're swinging in with 18 might on that same turn. It's not something people expected. I think even in earlier videos or content that I made in vlogs that you probably haven't seen, I discussed that I didn't really like this card. I didn't like how much it costs. I didn't like it in the pre-rift. I didn't like its purpose, but that was all before Miracle even came out. now that it has a purpose and now that it has a use, and even as a hidden card, I like using it. I mean, like, it's a great card, and I take back everything I said about it, honestly. Last card in the deck, you got to play purple. You can't play purple without it. Aurelia's in the meta. There's Kingmakers, there's Ornn, there's all kinds of stuff. You have a problematic card that's swinging into you, you just rebuke it, bro. Get it out of here. Put it back in their hand and get it off the field. Rebuke is the best card in the deck. You can play your 1-ofs because you can see them because you're digging through your deck. Now let's get into the side really quick. One more Rebuke. When you need to get rid of a lot of cards, you play another Rebuke. Hard Bargain. Hard Bargain goes in when you take those merchants out. Hard Bargain is a great card because, again, you can see your 1-of. It's great for late game when they're trying to stop your Bushwack, when they're trying to Hard Bargain you. You can pay the repeat a lot easier if you have an Ezreal. It's super worth it. Keep it. I played one Brynn. I put this in pretty often. I got Brynned a lot, and I think this card is really good, but I still have yet to see its value where I'm playing this plus a big board of like a Super Swing and maybe like a Bushwack. So sometimes I play this turn 3 and just like get some mid-range swinging, get some early points back, or get some tempo back. But one is enough because, again, you draw through your deck. But like I still don't know how I feel about Brynn. Discard, Falling Star. One Falling Star was enough. Sometimes you saw it. A lot of times it got sided in, but it never saw play because I needed the reds for something else, or I needed them for Detonate, or no one was playing a lot of Ezreals and other cards. The fact that Draven is a 4 kind of puts him in that weird number where you have to use both Falling Star triggers on him, which most people did to me, but I never got to do to them. So that's Falling Star. Pack of Wonders. We play 2 Pack of Wonders. This is the other card that's part of that Treasure Trove, Pack of Wonders, Detonate situation. This is a gear that says, tap this gear, return another friendly gear, unit, or hidden card to its owner's hand. So if you're worried about a card that you left on a battlefield, or you want to bounce a card back for safety, like Vi or Ezreal, you can always just tap this and bounce it back. But you can also play Treasure Trove, and then play Pack of Wonders, and then bounce the Treasure Trove back to your hand. And when Treasure Trove leaves the board, you draw 1 and channel 1 exhausted. And you can cycle this over and over if you have absolutely no way to draw cards. It is relevant, it did come up like once or twice, but it's not the best thing that you can have in your side deck. But it's useful. Last but not least, 2 Ferrero Rochers. Ferrero Rocher is extremely useful and valuable because Ferrero Rocher does a really good job at like big holding. If you're worried about them clearing your board, if you're playing into Miracle, turn 2 or 3, you can just drop this on a battlefield that you're already holding with Merchant and just like big hold this even further. You can also play this earlier in your base that isn't tied to the Rams or isn't tied to the Rasas, that are based on big mites with conditions that you need to play a lot of cards for. This is, you just tap out and you play these cards. And then if they do die, you get 3 might mechs. You get 2 of them, 2 3-might mechs for the price of 1 Ferrero Rocher. Like, that's the best deal. Even a Costco deal couldn't give you that one. And that's the deck. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'm very happy I got this mat. I got this Edge of Night. It was a weird, awkward like juggle between, some stores have certain types of mats and some stores have certain types of promo cards. So there's a weird swap, and all the skirmishes for the next like month and a half are going to be like that. So hopefully I can collect more of them and win some more of them. Shouts out to my friends that come with me to the skirmishes. They help me get some games. They help me practice. They help tell me where I'm misplaying, and I was focused, so I didn't get to film any of the skirmish. I really tried to dedicate myself to getting this by for Atlanta so I can get it out of the way and so we can start playing some fun stuff. So yes, this might not be a video you guys really like or enjoy. Yes, it's Draven, it's Miracle, it's Detonate. But for now and going forward, I'll be playing fun stuff while we get ready for Atlanta. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Outside of that, I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. I know subscribers is a cosmetic number, but to me, it'd be really cool if we hit that 1,000 subs. So I really do appreciate it. The deck link is in the description. If you guys have any changes or suggestions, let me know in the comments below. Don't play this deck if you can't play fast, because you'll go into draws. Thanks for watching.